Hi guys, please know that I'm thinking about you, and I know many of you are having a difficult time right now going into the holidays, and you're experiencing even more anxiety and stress and fear. And I just wanted to say that what this says to people like us that are in the midst of this health journey is that we really need to pay attention to what we do for ourselves, not what we feel we need to do for others. This illness is a call to change for us, and we need to pay very close attention to what it is saying to us. If we are in the midst of a crash, it certainly doesn't mean to go out and do things and eat a lot of sugar and perhaps drink coffee or just get into very bad habits, because all of those things will just throw us under the bus again. I know many of you are struggling with insomnia, as well as when you do wake up in the morning, you are so anxious. So, what this meant for me, or how I dealt with this, because I certainly was in the same boat, was when I would go to bed at night and lay down, I would sometimes put on a gentle meditation that I would do, or some soothing music, or I would try silence. And I would just, because it took me so long to be able to sleep well, I never really said to myself, or created a lot of anxiety for myself before I went to bed, because that was just the pattern of my body. It was in, I couldn't sleep well. So I didn't really expect myself to sleep well. And I think what happens a lot of the time is that people say, "Oh, I really want to sleep well. I really want to sleep well," when you're in this, you know, AFS, and part of the, one of the symptoms is insomnia. So having that great expectation is too much. So I feel like when I went to bed, I'd say, um, I hope I sleep well, but I didn't expect myself to sleep well. I didn't have that intense thinking that I would sleep well. So when I would wake up, I of course would be like, "Oh, I'm awake now," and I try go back to my soothing music, or listening to someone that I was inspired by, and I would just either rest in my bed while listening to that, or I would get up and I would go downstairs, and listen to something down there, perhaps on YouTube, where I could put on the TV and just listen to it that way instead of it being on my phone. I found this to be incredibly helpful, because for me, if I got out of bed and I walked downstairs, for me, I could not walk back up. So I know I had to stay down there on the couch, because I didn't have the strength, capacity to walk back upstairs. That's how ill I was. So I would say, okay, I'm going to do my best to try to relax by listening to these various sources. And a lot of times I would just lay down and listen to them, just kept my eyes closed. And, eventually I would drift off to sleep. But I think having the expectation, putting that pressure about sleep, uh, on the situation, makes it a lot worse. And I realized that only by what I had to do to finally take the pressure off of sleep. As well as, what I would say is that, well, as long as I'm laying down, with my eyes closed and trying to do certain things to soothe my body, at least I'm resting. I may not be sleeping, but I'm resting and doing all healthy things at the same time. So I would set myself up um, more for a positive experience in my mind, um, even if I didn't sleep. And I think that's huge because this illness to me was such a call to me, and I believe to all of us that encounter an intense illness, is that something has to change. And for me, I realized that, a lot of the change that was required was in my mind. I had to do so much work with my mind because it's in such a state of fear, overwhelm, anxiety that when, I went through the program of Dr. Lamb, but when my coach had said, you must stay as positive and grateful as possible and work a lot with the mind, it's a very psychological illness. I was like, oh, gotcha. Okay. That was like, because I understood why. And so I knew that my work was to focus on all good things going into my mind throughout the day. Soothing, inspirational, whatever I could learn of value that would just teach me something new that I could listen to. All of those things stacked upon each other and over time gave me a great result. And I think what happens is people are in such crises with this illness, and I totally understand that they try something and then it doesn't work right away, and then they say, it's not working. And there's no commitment to these certain chosen pieces that will take you to a higher level in yourself and your health. You can see how when you just do a little bit, dabble in this, and it's like, okay, all right, I'm going to switch over to this, and I'm going to listen to this, and then I'm going to switch over to this and listen to this. This is what so many people do, and then their mind just gets really crazed because you're not getting the substance out of what you're listening to. Because with this illness, there is no immediate fix. And you have to understand that it's a gradual process to health. And by having patience, commit to things, and these strategies are what take you there. These strategies are what take you to have better health. And I hear just so much of, I'm going to do this for like 10 minutes. I'm going to do this for like this amount of time. It's not like that. Like, commit and stay present in it. Stay with it. Many of you are doing these things as like big distractions. And I understand that because we definitely are trying to distract ourselves. But if you're listening to something valuable, it's important to gain the value out of that specific thing. Like, listen to it and apply it. There's a huge difference between listening and applying it. So I just want to say, like, now, some of you I know are entering into new crashes, new crash cycles, or in a deep panic. And I just want you to go back to what you know, perhaps through my YouTubes or others' YouTube videos or knowledge. Use the information. Don't just listen to it. And listen, you can listen to the same thing over and over again. You know, the same person, variety of videos. They're also helpful. You know, when I was very ill, I listened to a lot of Louise Hay. I listened to Mooji, Mooji. I listened to Sadhguru. I listened to Eckhart Tolle, um, because all of those people had such valuable information in their videos that I wanted to hear over and over and over again to really lock these things in my mind so I could soothe my body, gain information, and work diligently with my mind. Because whatever the mind is doing, it's if we keep it in such a busy state of distracting, and uh, it's going to keep our body like that. So the value is do it. Do it more than once. It's not going to be an overnight thing. This illness takes time to calm down. And if you're in the midst of another crash, all that crash means is that I have to go back to better things. I have to take in better things. That means food, you know, eating on time, eating more often, staying hydrated, staying away from, you know, sugars. And it just means I need to regroup. And yep, it's a temporary setback, but doesn't mean I won't have a comeback. And I need to get back to doing all of these great things consistently. I can't say that enough, because healing from this illness is about a commitment. There's no fast fix, and it's staying committed to these wonderful strategies. That's really it. You have to keep doing them and keep doing them, and learning for what's working for you, what's not working for you. But it's just stay committed so you can have a great end result. And I know you guys can do it, and I am with you during these holidays. But you know what? When I was ill, I didn't care about the holidays. I could not participate in the holidays. That was where I was at. That's just the way it was. It didn't mean it was going to be forever. And it's okay. And don't let anybody pressure you to do things if you're not feeling well. That is like, because you can't, especially in the advanced stage. You can't take any pressure from anyone. You're doing the best that you can. And you're just going to have to say, I am not well. I can't participate. I wish I could, but I can't. And that's it. That's it. And I know a lot of you will have to do that, and it will feel hard because you are going to have all these expectations put on you. And, you know, from your parents or your siblings or, you know, whomever. So just watch that. If you're ill, you're ill, and that's the way it is. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do it. Please don't beat yourself up. You don't need to go down that road. You are healing from an intense illness, and you know how poorly you feel. So you're just doing the best you can, and you're going to get through it. Let's just get through these holidays. Again, I didn't care. I knew I couldn't do anything. So I was just focusing on surviving from 1 minute to the next minute, one day to the next day. So that was where I was at. And those were my plans to just sit down or lay down, and I have to stay busy doing all the work on myself. Never mind, never mind doing anything, really. So please, I just wanted to shoot this out there for you guys because I know so many of you are crashing, new crashes, crash, a long crash, don't know when you're going to come out of the crash, but you will. You will. And I'm here for you. I want you to know that. And please let me know how you're doing and use my YouTube channel as a place where you can share how you're doing, how you're feeling, because we all need to talk. And I want this platform to be where we can help each other to get through these days, minutes, holidays, whatever, each and every day. All right. So much love to you. Please take care. And please know that I will be thinking about you. Bye-bye.